Hey guys, and welcome back to another video where today I do not have my face cam on for this mod review because there is the fact of there's going to be things bouncing around in the corners and I don't want to deal with the webcam and having that problem. So here we are going to be reviewing a 1.12.2 mod called the Switch Bows mod, which adds 2 new bows into Minecraft and a bunch of cool new arrows. So I've made this house of switch bows just for our little enjoyment and a bunch of stuff over here just to shoot and have fun with. So we're going to start out with these wooden doors because these will give us the 2 bows that this mod offers. So we have the switch bow and the switch crossbow. So to craft the switch bow, you will need 3 sticks, an eye of ender, and 3 string. To craft the switch crossbow, you will need 1 eye of ender, 2 iron ingots, 2 wooden planks, and 2 string. So there are different things that you can do with these bows. So pretty much they can shoot all the different types of arrows in the game that this mod offers. So we are going to grab ourselves a bit of arrows, and now we are going to shoot the crossbow and we're going to shoot the bow, and boom, those are our 2 weapons. So what we also have is quivers. Because there are so many different types of arrows in this mod, you will need quivers to hold them all. So for a quiver, you have 5 leather, a chest, and a string. For a big quiver, you have 5 leather, a round, a quiver, and string. So the big quiver shows up in 18 full inventory, and a quiver shows in a 9. So what you can do with these is you can take this and you can put in arrows, and it will say in store it has 62 arrows, and it will say different types of arrows, and we are going to put these in there right now, and it's going to change to 64 arrows. So pretty much what you can do with this quiver is you can just keep it somewhere in your inventory. There we go. You can keep it somewhere in your inventory and it will just activate from these bows. Now you may be wondering, why is there an arrow right next to my crosshair? And how do I get rid of it? Well, you can't because you need it there. So pretty much what it does is it tells you what type of arrow is equipped in the crossbow / bow. Since there are so many different types of arrows in this bow mod, there will be lots of different things that we need to do. So here we have the enchantment book, which is not there. So we're going to really quickly grab that, which is called pull speed, sorry. But here we go, we have pull speed. There are 1 through 3 on this. So what you can do is you can take this over and you can put in this bow, and then you do pull speed, and boom, now it has a better pullback speed. Like, look at that, 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 look at that pullback speed. It's beautiful. And what you can also do is there's 5 on this one, so you can do cooldown reduction for the crossbow. So basically that makes it so that it has a lower reload rate, which there is a reason this one's slower because it shoots directly straight. The bow, on the other hand, has a curve, but this shoots directly straight. So pretty much what we're going to do here is there is also another enchantment that is also used on both bows, but I'm just going to use it on this one because I'm going to show you. It's called Scope. So what Scope does is it brings this little thing into the game. So pretty much if you have Optifine, it's pretty much useless, but if you don't, it's really great if you want to really figure out what you're doing, because with the bow on long distances, I figured out that second mark down there is good for measuring at long distances. But pretty much that's what Scope does. So I'm going to put away the Scope bow and these arrows because they are not needed anymore. So we're going to collect all these arrows that I've left amok. So we're going to put these back in the quiver, which you can open at any time just using right click. And so pretty much with these bows, all you have to do is you just shoot, and they pretty much can shoot any of the arrows that I'm going to show you. So we're going to move on to the area that you cannot come back from once you have passed. So the first arrow that we're going to be taking a look at is called the Thunder Arrows. So the Thunder Arrows pretty much put a lightning wherever they are shot. So we're gonna see what they're made of. They're made of flint, blaze rod, and feather to make 4 Thunder Arrows. So pretty much to switch arrows, all you need to do is hold shift and then scroll with your scroll wheel. Now if you don't have a scroll wheel, you can also press V just to change between arrows, and what you can do is you can either have them in your inventory or you can keep them in here. So now if we look at it, it says there are 52 arrows and 64 Thunder Arrows. So we're going to start out with the crossbow because it's more accurate, so you can aim just straight and boom, it hits it right on the target. So now we're going to switch to the Thunder Arrow, which is pretty nice. So it brings down lightning and it also puts fire which is really nice. So there are our thunder arrows. Now if we switch to this bow, which we need to switch to the thunder arrow, it is more like a real bow, so you have to actually aim. And I hit the target. Wow. This is actually pretty nice. Look at this. Yes, I am the aiming king. Woo! Okay, so anyway, this is pretty much what the thunder arrows do, and that is going to sum those up. It's pretty much just thunder coming down, and that's the first arrow we're going to go through. The next arrow over here is called the TNT arrow. Now, this is a really dangerous one, but the recipe for this is 4 arrows over TNT, and that makes you 4 TNT arrows. So some of these recipes are super expensive, and some of them are pretty cheap. So we're going to put that in our quiver, and of course, it now says TNT arrows. So we're going to shift, we're going to switch to our TNT arrow, and right over there, you can see that block filled with TNT. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use my crossbow just to be more accurate, and we'll pow. And boom. We have a nice bit of lag, and boom. You have the revealed little red box that I made. So what you can do is this is pretty much what it does, and this is how big the radius is. It's pretty much about as big as the pretty much like a normal TNT explosion. Like it has it's pretty much just ranged TNT, which is really nice. I should not be doing this because this could blow up the rest of the obstacle course. Boom. Alright, so on to the next little segment of my little course here. So we're going to go through here, and I have my little test subject thing here, which I accidentally just moved. Don't move. Okay, so now we're going to go on to frost arrows. So what you can do is you can take some of these frost arrows, put them in your quiver, which will now tell you that it has frost arrows. I'm not going to keep saying that. And you're going to shift. You're going to switch to your frost arrow. You're going to switch to your frost arrow. And what these can do, these have 3 different capabilities. So you can shoot water. There is a specific angle, though. I figured this out. There is a specific angle you do need to hit it at, and that's about it. So what you need to do is you need to hit the water, and it will turn it into ice. And you can also just hit a normal block, and it will put snow down on that block. So that's pretty much how it works. Alright, then its other capability is if you shoot someone with it, they can't move. They're frozen. Those little particles means that he can't move. Now, it's really hard to show since I can't really move him. But that is pretty much how this is done. So now we are going to move on to the next room. So let's go. We've got our air arrows, which are our next arrows. So the air arrows are crafted by going with 4 arrows over a feather, which makes 4. And I do believe I forgot to show you the frost arrow recipe, which is 4 arrows over ice, which you can get with like a silk touch pick. But now we're going to put these in here. And so the way the air arrows work is we're going to switch to air arrow and air arrow. So pretty much how these work is you shoot someone and boom, they levitate for a good few seconds. So he's going to come down now. But yeah, pretty much what you can do is you can just shoot them and they will levitate. But this one is not set to air arrow, so I need to set that real quick. There we go. Air arrow. And boom, levitate. It's just what it does. There we go. Alright, so now we are going to move on to the next arrow. Alright, so the next arrows that we're probably going on to are teleport arrows. So here we have teleport arrows, which are crafted by putting 4 arrows around an ender pearl to make 4 teleporting arrows. So here we have our teleport arena, which we are going to test our little things on. So we're going to go down here, and we have 3 things to test it on. So we have our foxy test dummy over there, we have a pig, and we have a block. So pretty much what you can do with these is you can teleport to people or things, which I need to switch my arrows because that's an air arrow. Okay, we're going to switch to teleport, and we're going to switch to teleport. Alright, so we're going to shoot the pig, and boom, we teleport to the pig. And we shoot Foxy, we teleport to Foxy, and he switches location with us wherever we were previously standing. So boom, so if I were standing all the way over here, and I shoot him with a teleport arrow, and boom, he would go over there, but he died. So, next we're going to shoot the block arrow, which we're going to shoot the block arrow. We're going to shoot the block, so pretty much what you do is you shoot it and you land on top of it. Or you can shoot something like this, and then you land in the thing. So you switch, if you shoot an entity, you switch locations with the entity, but if it dies, it dies. So, we're going to just leave the crime scene, and we're going to move on to the next room. That's what that's called, a room. Alright, so the next arrows are the vampire arrows. So we are going to, what we're going to do is we're going to put away some of these because they're getting really crowded in my inventory. So what vampire arrows do is you shoot an entity and it'll take some of your health, their health from them. So we're going to shoot this little instant damage to me. So now I'm hurt. So we're going to shoot it, vampire arrow, and boom, it brings up my health because it's a vampire arrow, and we're going to shoot this on me, and boom, brings up my health. It takes a portion of the health taken from the entity. So we're gonna shoot these and pop. Okay, so right, we're gonna do this once. Oh, I don't want to shoot it. And pop, and it gives me most of my health back. Pop, and now my health is fully back. So we're gonna move on to the next room. All right, let's go. So the next arrows are considered wither arrows. So we're gonna take out a withered arrow, and what wither arrows do is pretty much what you've guessed. They give the opponent or the thing that you shoot the wither effect. So, but there is I am shooting vampiric arrows. That's why I was wondering, like, why is this not working? So we gotta switch to our wither arrow. So let's go, and boom. And it will give him the wither effect. So now poor little Foxy over here is withered. So now we're going to move on to the next room. All right, so the next arrows are torch arrows. Now, for some reason, there is no chest in this room, so I'm going to spawn them in. So torch arrows, pretty much, they are crafted by doing a torch next to an arrow. And so all you need to do is you just take your crossbow or whatever and you shoot, and it will put it on the blocks. Now, it will only put it on the sides. It will not put it on the tops of blocks. So pretty much you just shoot everywhere, and wherever you land, it has to be in certain spots though. Like if you hit it at the wrong angle, it will not put a torch up. But yeah, this is pretty much the torch arrow. And like it won't put it on doors because that's just common sense. But there we go. That's torches everywhere. All right, next area. So here we are on to the silver arrows. So the silver arrows are crafted by using 4 arrows over a piece of glass, which is 4 glass arrows. So pretty much what these do is we need to switch arrows to silver arrows. So pretty much what they do is if I shoot in the middle of this, they shatter into glass and all that area would be hurt. So whenever they hit a block or a person, it does a area effect like that. So if I were to just shoot it at him, it would be an area effect. So pretty much I'm not trying to do it too much because, like, see, if I shoot it here, see, like, it's an area effect, so that's what it does. So it's pretty much just shattering glass. That's what the concept is. So pretty much we'll just leave him there, and we'll move on to the next room. Alright, so in the next room, we have another Foxy dummy, and we have underwater arrows. So pretty much, we are going to go into our little fishbowl over here, and we are going to show these underwater arrows, which can be crafted by using a flint, an iron, and a feather. So we are going to, oh, here are our targets. So what we can do is if we switch to the correct arrow, what we can do is we can shoot just as fast underwater as a normal arrow would. So see, if I'm over here out of the water, it will still shoot just as fast. But what we can do is if we're in the water when we're shooting this, it does extra damage to the target. And that's a wither arrow, that's why. Okay, so it does extra damage to the target, which will automatically kill someone without armor. So let's get out of here. We'll pretend that never happened. And we are going to just get out of here. On to the next room. So we have our little Foxy there, and we have the reinforced arrows, which can be crafted by doing diamond, a stick, and a feather to make 6 reinforced arrows, which do 2.5 more damage. So we're just gonna put a bunch of this stuff in here that we don't need anymore. So this is what they can do. So boom, and it's another one shot. It's pretty much an underwater arrow, but just not underwater. So let's go on to the next room. So in this other room we have a little Foxy 2.0, which means he's gonna be alive momentarily. But what you can do is you have the love arrows, and the love AoE arrows. So these are made a little bit differently. So we're going to go over all 3 of these. So to make a love potion, you need 3 seeds, 2 carrots, a glass bottle, and 3 wheat. Now, you cannot drink this. This is just a craftable thing. So that is used to craft 4 love arrows, which is around 4 arrows to make 4 love arrows. And to make an AoE, you just need to put silver arrows around love arrows. And the silver arrows, again, are arrows around glass. So pretty much these have a few different functions. Okay, so we're going to switch to a love arrow, so it does not do damage, so it makes them available to breed. So that's the first thing it can do, but what it can also do is it can also just do that in an AoE effect. So we're going to switch to AoE, and boom, it's just an area effect instead. So what we're going to do is we're going to shoot him, and it makes him unable to hit us. But now we're gonna show this by him hitting me. So what happens when he shoots me is it makes my screen all pink and it makes me unable. It makes it won't make players able to do this, but what it does is it makes entities unable to harm you, and I think it's an effect called lovable. Yes, the effect is called in love, and so it makes it so the entities, if you were shot at a hostile entity, it would not be able to hurt you, but it does not affect players because players are players and they have different coding. But that is pretty much how the love arrows works. We're gonna move on to the next room. Alright, so in the next room we have here is fire arrows. So I have those in my inventory. So what they are 4 arrows around a lava bucket, and we're going to go down to our little fire safe zone here. And we pretty much, this is what they do. They do what you'd expect them to do. They set your little suspect on fire, and he has a little fire going around him, which will continually burn him until this little burn effect is gone. So that's what it does. So we're gonna shoot this, and it pretty much does this. So you would expect it to be burning stuff, but it actually doesn't, except me. It does burn me, which kind of hurts. But if you were to shoot the ground, and if anyone walked into that, it would put them on fire. So pretty much you could put this around yourself, and you'd be pretty much invincible unless someone had fire-resistant armor. So this will protect me from that guy over there. But that's pretty much what it does. I don't know why I had this hole here. I knew it did that, but so it does not actually start a fire. It just makes this cool little effect, which I think is awesome. The creator did great with that. But let's go on to the thing, and it's not dangerous for my little wooden house, which I thought it would be. So we're gonna go on to the so in the next room we have a little plant and a little farm here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put away these arrows that I've used for a while, and we're gonna grab a stack of bone arrows, which can be crafted with flint, bone, and a feather to make 4. So pretty much what these do is if you shoot it anywhere, it's pretty much acts as bone meal, and if you shoot it at a plant, it will completely grow it to its full form, or to a tree, it does the same thing, but I just didn't have room in here for a tree, so this is pretty much all it does. It's just a bone meal, but like that's all it does. But it's pretty cool. I kind of like it. It's a little bit useful if you want to be like bone meal all the way over there. But now we're gonna go on to rocket arrows. So rocket arrows are done with 2 arrows and a firework rocket. Now what these can do is a little bit cool. So we're gonna go up here. We're gonna go outside just for these. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch to rocket arrows, and what they do is they go straight up, like straight up, and then they come straight down. And they make a little bit if they're charged with certain fireworks, see, even with the curved bow, it goes straight up, or it goes straight oh wait, this is bones, that's why I was like, what? So it goes straight up with its little particle effect, and it goes just straight. And then pretty much if it had a little flare in it, it would make an explosion that would do damage, but it's pretty much just a normal firework, but it doesn't have a flare in it, so it just goes straight. So that's what those do. And now let's go on to the next arrow. So over here we have the luck arrows. So pretty much to craft a luck arrow, you need an emerald, a stick, and a feather to make 4 of them. And pretty much all they do is they just have the looting 3 effect on pretty much everything you hit. So there we go. I got a few extra pork chops. Bop. And bop. So there are pork chops of the day. 11 pork chops instead of, I don't know how many there would normally be. Okay, so on to the next room. So we have a little redstone puzzle here for our redstone arrows. So to create a redstone arrow, you need 4 around with a redstone in the middle, and you get 4 redstone arrows. Now to do this, all you need to do is shoot a block that will give a redstone signal, and that is a rocket arrow. We're going to change to redstone, and boom. It'll start the signal anywhere. You can even shoot one of these, and it'll light it up. But it has to be shot directly. I can't remember. But if it's already causing redstone, see, it kind of like glitches those out. So we're gonna turn the tick speed down on here. So up we go to the next floor, and this is the burial arrow. So what this does is, if you check its recipe, it's 4 arrows around a grass block. So we have our little burial access area, and up here we have our little Foxy, who we are going to bury. So what this does is you hold it in your bow. We're gonna switch to it, and you shoot the entity. And it pretty much opens up the 4 blocks underneath them, and then it just puts them back in its place. And boom, now you have your little Foxy down here in his little burial chamber. So let's move on to the next one. So in here we have another Foxy popped up. So in this one we have what is called chorus arrows. So these, as you would guess, since it's a 1.12.2, are made from chorus fruit. So we got chorus fruit around 4, then we got 4 chorus arrows. So he's a Foxy 2.0. He'll be able to shoot back at me. It's pretty much what it does. Boom! It teleports him to a random area, and he's gone somewhere. I'm gonna have to bring him back. And now that I'm brought him back, he kind of probably wants revenge, so I'm gonna let him get a little revenge on me. So I pretty much ended outside of the house, so we're gonna really quickly get back there. All right, so we're back here, and we're just gonna move on to the next room. So in this next room we have our fiery fire pit, and we have what are called sprinkler arrows. So these have a few different functions. They are made from an uncraftable potion, a stick, and a feather. So pretty much if you press R, this is uncraftable. There's no way to make this potion, so you can't really get this arrow in Minecraft, because this is an uncraftable potion. So this is pretty much a creative thing, but I still think it's really cool. So we're gonna use our little teleport pad, and what this is our fiery fire pit. So we have a few different things to test this on. So pretty much what the sprinkler arrow does is it can either, oh, there's an arrow. I didn't know that still existed. So pretty much what it can do is it can put out the fire. So if you see that it kind of did in the middle, so you can do this and it'll put out all the fire around you. So here we go, that's our boom, and fire gone. So what it can also do is it can put out torches, and there's all the torches gone, bop. And it can also turn lava into obsidian, which is really nice. And boom, lava into obsidian. So that's pretty much what the sprinkler arrow does, and we're gonna go back real quick. Alright, oh, there we go, a little bit of lag because we've teleported locations. So, alright, let's go on to the next one, which is Foxy, which is dragon arrows. So, dragon arrows are pretty much what you're going to do is you're going to craft them with the dragon breath, a stick, and a feather to get 2. Pretty much what these do is I'm going to stand back here. We're going to put it there, and pretty much it does the dragon breath effect, which immediately, it's a little bit gone. I'm gonna stand in it. Yeah, it does the dragon breath effect as in the end. So that's pretty much what this does, and it lingers here for a little bit since it's a lingering effect. And there we go, that's what a dragon arrow does. Alright, so in this next room over here we have what is called the triple arrows. So to craft these, you need 3 arrows and string together to make a triple arrow. So pretty much all you need to do is switch to triple arrow, and it's what you would expect. It's 3 arrows. If you were farther back, it would split. See, like, it starts to split a little bit, so it would be more of split up, but yeah, this pretty much just shoots 3 arrows, which starts to split at a point. But yeah, there's your triple arrows, and we're just gonna move on to the next room. So here we have 3 pigs. That would be good for the triple arrows. But what we have is called a protector arrow, which can be created by a pumpkin, 2 iron ingots, a stick, and a feather. So what this does is, it's really weird, it's really cool, and I really like it. So what it does is it spawns a mini iron golem. So look at that. And normally if the mob did not die from first hit, which sadly they are due to the strength of the bow, but you have to hit an entity. There, it would spawn a mini iron golem for the next few seconds, or until the entity is dead. So that's pretty much what it does. It's really cool. I really think these arrows are one of the best arrows in the game. So let's move on. All right, here we have the knockback arrows, which are also one of my favorites. So we're gonna put all these arrows away, and we have the knockback arrows. We're gonna go up here into our little knockback arena, I think that's what it said. And hi, Foxy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna shoot Foxy, and he's got a long way to go. So and he gets hit almost all the way to the end. This is a good few blocks. It's 1 block away from the end of this corridor. It's a huge knockback arrow. It's super nice for knocking your opponents back. It's just like, get away from me and like die. All right, so let's move on to the next arrow. All right, so let's go down and head to the next arrow. This is a long ladder. Why did I make that so long? All right, over here we have the Bouncy Arrow, which is, I will say, this is finally, I've said it, this is my favorite. So we have the slime ball, the stick, and the feather to make a 4 bouncy arrows, and I will show you why they are my favorite. So this is what they do. They bounce around. I will show this better in a different room, but this is what they do. They're so cool. They just bounce around, and they're just really cool arrows. And then they will eventually just make a little explosion once they're done. It won't hurt the terrain or anyone. It's just like, it's just super cool, and it just bounces. And then if it hits you, it does nothing except explode. Finally. All right, so off we go into the next chamber. The arrows of the searcher, and we have a little Foxy over there. He's really far away this time. So the way to make an arrow of the searcher is an eye of ender, a stick, and a feather for 6 of these arrows of the searcher. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the crossbow just so that I'm more accurate. Alright, we're going to go to here and arrow of the searcher. And what we're going to do is we're going to shoot right over there. And I was a little bit too far off. So what you can do is you shoot and it targets the nearest entity. And there we go, boom. If you can't shoot too far off, but you're a little bit off, it will still shoot the target. See, like, if, by the way, it does go through blocks too. So like, it just went, like, look at that. Look, it just disappears. So it goes through walls, and it will hit the nearest entity. It will curve at the very end. We'll try and watch it. And boom, it curves. So that's what it does. It you don't even need to be accurate. You can just do like this, boom. But I was a little bit off. That went through the floor. And that went too far. Okay, you do need to be somewhat accurate. I mean, I lied. Why is it just bouncing off now? These are not bouncy arrows. There we go. So it's supposed to bounce to him, but it kind of glitched a little bit. But yes, those are our little eyes of the seeker. So let's move on to the final room, which is most likely my favorite, which will give us this little pedestal. So to make this, you need 9 blocks of quartz, 12 pillar quartz blocks, 12 quartz stairs, 1 obsidian, and 4 magma blocks, and then you need 2 prismarine shards of prismarine crystals and 4 obsidian just to create the pedestal. And you have to create this little structure here, this little cool thing, and then you have all these arrows that we've had before. So we're just going to take all these arrows and we're going to choose one of them. So one of my favorite arrows is going to be the, do we have a bouncy arrow? Okay, the bouncy arrow does not apply. We're going to use the knockback arrow because it's going to make super OP. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click here, or shift right click, or... So what I did, guys, was I did it wrong. It was supposed to be there was supposed to be an obsidian and then the pedestal. So what you do is you right click with the, I think you need to have 1 arrow. There we go. So guys, I figured out, I just built it again and I figured out I was using the wrong type of arrow. You can't use the knockback arrow. But here's what happens. You take like a thunder arrow and boom, it's transmuting it. And then it'll tell you when it's done. So what it's doing is it's draining power into it, and we're gonna put arrows on this one too. Can we put 64? Oh, it takes 64. So pretty much this is gonna take a few minutes, so we're gonna give it time to do it. So our transmutes seem to have finished. We can right click them and it's not done. It didn't finish. We're gonna put these back. Oh, they're not done. Okay, we're just gonna wait for them to transmute some more. So I calculated it's gonna take about 5.5 minutes for these to finish, a stack of them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just go on to the ones that I already did. So these are the transmuted versions of the original arrows, which are just better versions of them in practicality. So pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to go out here onto our little deck, and I'm just going to test these. So pretty much for a thunderstorm, all it's going to do is we shoot it, and boom, it just makes a thunderstorm instead. So then we switch to an air arrow. Now it's an AoE, so anything around it, I'm not going to shoot at this, there are other test subjects. It's pretty much, I'm going to have to show it right there, boom. It's really hard to show it, but pretty much it makes an area effect of air that will do it, and then the transforming luck arrow just gives better looting. So I can't really show that. The firestorm arrow now why can I not see from up here? This is really sad. So what the firestorm arrow does is, wait, we're gonna jump off real quick. We're gonna just jump down here. Okay. So what the firestorm arrow does is, I need an entity. A firestorm arrow does this, and pretty much that's what it does. It sets things on fire from one to another. That's what it does. The fire just spreads between entities. Then we have the burial AoE, which is, you'd have to have another entity, which I'm going to just get some. We're gonna get some pigs down here because we're gonna. That's my main test subject. So we're gonna put a pig right here, and boom, burial, and boom, he gets buried. Alright, he gets buried further down. That's what that does. And then if we switch to transforming silver arrow, what this does is, if we spawn a bunch of pigs, this one is now just, it does it more in a bigger area radius effect. That's what this is. And then if you change the bone, it does a bigger radius. That's pretty much what these transmute does. Now the love arrow, we're gonna go back up here for. Then we have the thunderstorm, and we're back to the beginning. So I'm going to magically get back up there, and boom, thank you, magic. And then we have what are considered the cannons. So these are arrow dispensers. I like to call them cannons, but they take 4 wood, and then a dispenser, and then a piston. So pretty much what these do is they're redstone activated, and so we're gonna put all this stuff away, and we have these 3 that I really wanted to test. So what you can do is, this one is at max. It does the max firing rate at a time. And now we're just going to spread this out. We're going to spread that out a little bit well. So these are the AoE love arrows. So this is what they do. So it shoots them out like this. Why is it not firing? What is up with this? Oh, there we go. It's shooting. So pretty much it just does the same thing, just with an area effect. And boom, there's our love arrows. That's what they do. And then if we were to do a very smally dangerous arrow and do this, that's the small distance. That's the smallest it can go. It can legit just go right there, a block in front of it. But this is honestly so fun to play with. What you can do is you can just load it with a whole bunch of different types of arrows, and then boom. Oh geez. There's so much stuff happening from this one cannon. Alright, ready? Boom. Boom. Explosions. Yes. Many arrows. Shoot many of the arrows. Yeah. There's our little arrow fest. So now we're out of arrows, but we won't waste any arrows, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. It's raining. Oh my gosh. That is so laggy. Look at that. That's a thunderstorm if I've ever seen one. So that's a lot of mass destruction if you combine all these arrows into these cannons. These cannons are super sweet. I like how powerful they are, except this one, it like does nothing. But that's all in the settings. So what you can do is you can just mess with the settings here on how fast you want to shoot and stuff like that, and blah blah blah. And there is no upgrades to them, sadly, but we're gonna go back over to these, and boom, they are done because they are chilling and they are colored now. So what we can do is we can right click, and it takes them off, and boom, we have transformed our arrows. Honestly, I think the transformed arrows are super cool, but are they worth it? Because you have to get that whole little pedestal to do it. Are the transform arrows worth it? Now, if you want a super storm on your friend, yeah, they're definitely worth it. Like, look at that. Who wouldn't want to do that to their friend? I mean, come on. But unless you want to do that, they're pretty much not as good as you would want. But this is a great mod. I love it, to be completely honest. It's a great mod. There are so many different arrows and bows in this. I really enjoy it, and I hope you guys did too. So if you want to see more mod reviews, be sure to give this video a like and show that you enjoyed it. And I will see you all in the next video. And I hope this mod fills your times with joy and happiness. So I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!